Hi, I'm Tony Lowenstein with iTech Fitness. I'm going to be showing you guys today how to put together an export platform properly. Be sure to watch this video from beginning to end because there's a lot of little steps along the way where it's really easy to damage the export, where you're going to need replacement parts sent out to you guys. So just make sure that you follow these steps properly and you will have a smooth installation for your export. This is the hardware kit that comes in your export box. It has all of the bolts and everything necessary to fully assemble your export system, and it also comes with an Allen wrench that you're going to need. You'll also find in a separate packaging 2 pieces of heat shrink tubing, and additionally you will need 1 crescent wrench and some WD-40 to make this thing easy for you. After you're done unpacking the different components of the export platform, you'll notice you'll have 4 posts. There's 2 different pairs of posts. There's a pair that's shorter with a smaller circumference tip. These go to the back of the export platform, and these 2 longer posts go to the front of the export platform. Be careful not to pull this wire out of this post where it's pre-fished through. You're going to need this at a later step. So first, you want to leave your post that has the wire pre-fished on it aside right now. You want to assemble the 3 other posts first. So you take the shorter post with the smaller circumference tip, and they go to the rear of the export platform, where you enter. And then take the hardware and just loosely bolt the posts to the frame, making sure that the Allen tip is to the inside of the platform. Take your post that has the wire pre-fished through it and loosen it up at one end, taking the wire free. Make sure that it's still tight at the end of the post. Then reach down to the right hand post hole of the export platform and take out the data cables that are pre-fished. You want to attach these cables to the cable that's pre-fished in the post and pull them on through. Pulling the data connections out the top of the right-hand front post. After you put the post that has the data cables into the platform of the export frame, loosely hand bolt it to the platform base. Nothing should be tight yet. Everything is only hand tight at this point. For this next step, you're going to need 2 people to install this properly, so grab the biggest guy that you can find and have him help you. Take a little of the WD-40 that we talked about earlier and apply some to a rag and go around the edges of the post. This will ensure that in a later step, when you have to put the handlebars down, they'll go down nice and smoothly. After that's complete, grab the data cables that are pre-fished in the handlebars and attach them to the data cables that are ran through the post. Once you're done with that, just gently put the connections into the post. Don't push them down very far, and then very gently set the handlebars on top of the post. Don't fully push the handlebars down yet. If you do that right now, you're going to damage these cables, so make sure that these handlebars are just barely sitting on the top of these posts. Now what we want to do is you want to tilt your export platform on its side, and you see where the data cable is coming out of the bottom of the post. You want to pull this data cable down to take this connection away from this intersection, and that puts the connecting tips down deep in the post, ensuring that you won't damage the cables. You may need to fish a little slack from the top of the handlebars down there to give yourself enough room. Okay? then stand the platform back up. Once you've done this, and the connections to the data cable are deeper down in the post, you can fully push the handlebars down onto the posts. Now at this step, you can go ahead and tighten up all the bolts and install the rest of the bolts around the top of the platform, securing the handrail to the posts. After you've tightened all of the hardware that's holding the posts and the handlebars together to the platform, you can go ahead and start attaching the controller to the handlebars. You're going to need the hardware that comes in the kit, the small bolt, and the Allen wrench that comes in your kit as well. We want to attach the safety leash to the platform. Now your controller is magnetized and will stick to the handlebar. Just take your washer and your small bolt and then take the safety leash and attach it to the front of the handrail. The next step is to attach the X-board to the platform. What you want to do is you take the safety leash that's coming out the bottom of the platform and the bolts that came in the hardware kit and attach them to each other. One of these bolts has a flush mounted tip that goes to the top of the X-board. Take the safety harness, put it on the bottom side of the board, use a washer and a nut, and then tighten them firmly with the crescent wrench and the Allen key provider. The next step is to take the 2 lengths of heat shrink tubing that came in your X-board box, and we're going to use that to secure the data cables. We're going to use it to secure the controller and the board. So what you want to do is you want to take one of the pieces of heat shrink tubing, put it around the connection from the controller, connect the cord coming out of the handlebar frame, the cord with the controller, and slip the heat shrink tubing over. Now, repeat the same process, but for the X-board down here and the data cable coming out of the base of the platform. Next step, take the heat shrink tubing and a hair dryer, and you're going to want to shrink this heat shrink tubing around this connection. Turn your hair dryer on, hold it over here, and give it a little bit of time, and this heat shrink tubing will conform to the shape of the 2 connection tips. After the heat shrink tubing has formed to the 2 connecting tips, just like so, now you've sealed these connections and people aren't going to be able to pull these apart. Do the same thing to the base of the platform to secure the X-board to the base. Once the heat shrink tubing has fully formed to the connections, it's good to go, you're finished. Once you have finished the heat shrink tubing around the controller and the X-board, your system is fully complete and it's ready to get hooked up to a gaming system and ready to play. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony?